asked a lot sometimes about one of the recurring themes that I have in my books is the main character always searching for a place to call home. And I really didn't realize that that was something I was doing until it was pointed out to me like 10 books into it. And it's kind of funny because the longest I lived anywhere before I moved to Georgia as a married mother was in London, England. I'd lived there for 7 years. My dad's job with Exxon we made us move all over the place, but 7 years in London was the longest we lived anywhere. And I still kind of consider that my hometown. I still remember the tube map. I know to get on at Baker Street, it's the Jubilee line. If I want to go to St. John's Wood, it's it's funny, those things that you never forget. But it was 7 years, and Regent's Park, I know, everything in Regent's Park. I would walk, run, do everything in Regent's Park. And so that's really my home. I like to say also, I remember my summers of visiting my grandmother in southern Mississippi, and I kind of adopted my mother's little Mississippi hometown as my hometown, and that's why I write about southern hometowns. And then finally I thought, well, you know what? But I still, London really has that place in my heart, and it was time that I wrote about it. So I did interject southern characters, but the setting is London, and that is, I'm talking about The Last Night in London, which comes out in April, and it is set in my Harley House, which is the building I lived in Harley House on Regent's Park. And in this book, somebody gave this book to me. So here is, and this Circle Park is actually mentioned in the book. This is where they go. There's sort of an underground. They call it the Nanny Tunnel, and I have the characters during the historic section of the book. During a Blitz raid, they go into that Nanny Tunnel to hide. But the coolest thing, am I going the right way? Hold on, I gotta find. They have an aerial view of Harley House, which I remember looking through this book, going, "Oh my gosh, there it is! See, and here's part of the park." Here's the park, and then here's Harley House. That's where I lived. And there's actually a bomb map that I'm going to post on Pinterest. Somebody actually went and marked to see, put little red pin dots where a bomb fell during the 9 months of the Blitz. It's like a bomb of red. It looks like the coronavirus, it's like this red circly kind of thing. And it's cool because, not cool, but you get to see how close to the building these bombs landed, and it's just amazing to think that this is what it looks like now. But go look at aerial pictures of London during the Blitz. It's really incredible. So yeah, that was my home for 7 years, and that's why London is one of my favorite cities in the whole world. And this is a fabulous coffee table book for anybody, whether you live there or not.
That looks amazing. So you met your best friend, Claire.
Yes.
There. Tell us a little bit about that story.
I sure did. So her father was with an American bank, and it was our junior year. It was April 1st. And, I have a picture of Claire that I can show you. She's 9 days older, for the record. But we were juniors. It was April 1st, and her two older brothers, one was at West Point. Her next oldest brother was in college. He was 3 years older than we still are. And so the parents moved just with Claire, and they moved to Wimbledon in a beautiful high-rise that overlooked Wimbledon. And actually, it's in here, but I'll find it. So that's where they lived, and Claire came to my chemistry class. My partner, I'll find it in another section. My lab partner was out for the day, so Dr. Belle Isle, our chemistry professor, said, "Oh, Karen, there you are. This is our new student, Claire, and she's going to be your lab partner for today." And because I was very flighty, I ramble a lot apparently. And I was a cheerleader. It was game day, so I had my cheerleading jersey on, and we were distilling wood, and I hadn't really been paying attention. So I had no idea what we were supposed to be doing, and ours was like bubbling, and it didn't look like it should be. So I asked Claire, if she would just put her finger down and just hold the bubbles while I would go get the professor. And of course, I'm bebopping around, I'm chatting with friends or whatever. And then, like 10 minutes later, I realized that Claire's still there with her hand, and I felt so bad. But we're still friends. We're still best friends. And in fact, I remember when she went to Penn State, I went to Tulane, and she's like, Claire and I never fight like that. Siblings. I think they're fighting over you.
Sophie.
But anyway, when we graduated from high school, Claire's like, we're never going to see each other again. I'm like, oh, yes, we are. And so, of course, I married her brother, so now she doesn't have a choice.
Which brother did you marry?
I married the second one, Tim. I was really more interested in the West Point one, but I didn't meet him for, until long after I'd met Tim, my husband. And we actually met in their flat. Actually, the first time I set eyes on him, he had slept overnight in line to get center court tickets for Wimbledon the next day. So he was a mess. And Claire was always telling me like this wonderful brother she had and how cute he was. And I met him. I'm like, because he had the beard. I was just not, I was like, no. So then after he cleaned up, he happened to walk into the living room while I was lip syncing with a hairbrush to Meatloaf's Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. And when he opened the door, I threw myself onto a couch that I didn't know had wheels on it. It was a wood floor, and slammed myself against the wall. And that was the first time, that's the first memory he has of me. So, it wasn't love at first sight, believe it or not.
That's an awesome story. Okay, let's talk about your collaboration with your author buddies, Team W.
My writing BFFs, yeah. So Beatrice Williams and Lauren Willig, sort of my sisters at heart. We have written 3 collaborations so far: The Forgotten Room, The Glass Ocean, and All the Ways We Said Goodbye. And we are currently working on book number 4, due out in the fall of 2022. Yes, that is correct, 2022, and it is set in Newport, Rhode Island. We do not have a title yet. We're about a third of the way through. It's due May 1st, so we better hustle. But the time periods are 1890s, 1950s, and modern day. And you might see, in fact you will see, characters from previous collaborations. We have Prunella Schuyler. We can't seem to kill her off. She's appeared in all of the books. She was, you will recognize her. You will also perhaps recognize the character of Megan Black from the Trout Street novels. She is a student of historic preservation, as my daughter Megan White was, and she is in this book assisting the main character, who is working on a reality television show doing a renovation of 3 rooms of this Gilded Age mansion, and it's called Makeover Mansion. And Megan Black is the technical consultant, but of course nothing is ever clear-cut in one of our books. There will be twists and turns and fun characters. And as soon as we know what the title is, we will be shouting it to the rooftops. But the good news is that coming up, the paperback of All the Ways We Said Goodbye will be released on February 16th.
And the reader submitted questions. A lot of people wanting to know which character you wrote in the latest collaborative novel, All the Ways We Said Goodbye. If you're going to answer that one.
Yes. So I'm
so
not allowed to.
How did y'all decide to keep the writer and the character partner secret? Was that?
No, it wasn't intentional. In the very first book, we thought we would, announce it, let everyone know. And then we realized when we started getting reviews, they were saying, somebody needs to go to the bathroom. That's not what they were saying. I'm just saying, I see my dog. And then she disappeared, so hopefully she's not. Oh,
come here.
It's Sophie. I just don't want her to,
Yeah.
So we were getting these reviews, and the reviews were saying, it's seamless. We can't tell that this was written by 3 different authors. And we thought that was sort of our superpower. That was our special sauce. We didn't know how we did it. It was just sort of, we clicked in a special way, and we wanted to keep that going. So we didn't want to announce who wrote what, because we didn't want readers to be jumping out of the book saying, oh yeah, I can tell that's Karen or Lauren or Beatrice. And because we approach these books, this is our book. We create the story, we create the characters together. We don't really decide who's going to write what until we've finished with everything. And we usually pick a character against type. So just to sort of stretch our writing muscles and also to really confuse our readers.
That's awesome. And you have great fun writing it too, correct?
Oh no, it's all work. No fun, no fun. Well, sadly for the Newport book, we had to do a FaceTime outline session. Normally we were supposed to go to Newport. We had this beautiful bed and breakfast all booked. And then, thank you, Corona, that had to be canceled. And then when we finish a book, we normally like to get together, to finish the edits, send it into our editor, and then celebrate with Prosecco and sugar, lots of sugar. And so the book is due May 1st. We're just hoping that we can get together to do that, because part of what makes this so special is the friendship between the 3 of us and that work collaboration where, it's literally without conflict. We just love this process so much and love working together. It really is a joy, but that one-on-one is, we'll do Facebook or FaceTime, just drinking, cocktail hours sometimes just to, sort of refresh ourselves. But our book tours really are the most fun book tours ever. And we're hoping, please, by 2022, we will be able to do it again. And if you get the chance to see us on tour, it's like a Las Vegas show, but with books.